Hey, how you doing? Good morning. I just barely got out of bed. I haven't taken a shower. I haven't put any makeup on or anything like that. Uh, why? Because that's what this video is about exposing me and everything. Nowadays, there's so much propaganda and so much stuff going on, and people think that what a trans woman is just a man in a dress and everything, even though it's really just hygiene. Why would a person not be able to take care of themselves and make themselves look good? Um, and even if it's taken too far, too much makeup and all that, that's their choice. It's America. They shouldn't someone be free to do with themselves what they want to? But I'm not that kind. As you can see, here I am, first thing in the morning, just to walk straight out of bed, no makeup, haven't even splashed water in my face or done anything. I'm still wearing, it's winter time, so I'm wearing this is so warm. I'm just wearing look how wimpy I am. I'm wearing leggings, pajama bottoms, a shirt, a sweatshirt, and a sweater, and I have the heat turned up to like 75 degrees, and I still get cold, but here I am in my rawness. What I would look like if you slept with me and I was on the bed. Here I am, just trying to look as ugly as possible so you can see me for who I am. Even though that's not who I am, because who I am is someone that takes care of herself and that has good hygiene. I take a shower every day. I wear makeup every day because that's what kind of person I am. So this isn't really who I am. I don't know why people think things like that, but it makes people feel like they understand me better. Um, so, so, like, what am I up to? Like what, that's what a person wants to know. What am I up to? What am I up to? Um, well, I went on heavy acid trips when I was a teenager that made me wonder whether God existed or not. Like I was always really close with my mom, and she was like a big hero of mine. And with LSD, my mom kind of became like an animal, a farting, blowing her nose, suddenly became so like animalistic, and then everybody became that, and it just was this big eye opener, and I needed answers, who is God, and does God even exist, and things like that. And so just in a nutshell, I have other videos coming up later about the details on that, but it just sent me on this really long, I've spent more time than a person should spend on answering questions like that. Um, and so that's really what I'm up to. I just, I don't, like, I'm in my 50s now. I'm like super old and everything. Why would someone want to admit that? But, it's taken me too long I've spent too much time on theology, and things like that, mostly theology, and I found my answers, and that's what my soul needed. Everybody's there. Life in the journey of spirituality, it really is like there's all roads lead to Rome kind of thing. As long as you stay within. I think that's why like people are so scared of cults and things like that. Like I'm the founder of the Yan Sui faith. It's not a religion and it's not a cult. It means follow your heart. So you can see in my tattoo, it's my religious tattoo. And my symbol, just like a Christian symbol is a cross, my symbol is the heart. Because that's what Yan Sui means, follow your heart. That's the name of my religion. I'm the only person that's a Yan Sui. The reason I say in the Yan Sui, when I refer to the Yan Sui, like we believe this, we do this, and all that. In some cases, I was a single parent and I raised my son. And we celebrated the holidays. So you see the playlist, the Yan Sui holidays. So he was raised that way. So in some cases, it means me and my son, like when it means like the holidays. But that's pretty much it, just the holidays. When I say we, I just mean myself. And why would I say that? Because if I say me and it's just for me and Jan Sway's mine and you can't have it kind of a thing, I just found that it has a negative, it affects me in a negative way spiritually, you know? It's, if it's what I believe, then it should be open to everybody, and that's scary nowadays in a world with cults and things like that. But the whole emphasis is remember is the heart, you know, that to look within, and that it's ego to use people as mirrors. The only, you know, your inner work is something only you can do, and if you can't do your inner work, then that's literally what a narcissist is, you know. So I have a history with abuse. I'm an empath, so I'm a target for toxic people and narcissists. And oh, my heater just turned on. See, I'm not into cold. But anyway, so I have an abusive past. I've physical, emotional neglect in my family who's Mormon. So you know, I don't like organized religions because Mormonism. You know, my mom would. I was in special ed all through school, and they never could figure out what was wrong with me. You know, but they knew I belonged in special ed anyway. It was this weird thing. It was, in fact, in California where I grew up, it was against the rules to put someone in special ed unless they had a verifiable thing wrong with them, you know, and they couldn't find anything wrong with me, but they kept me in there anyway, you know, because I would draw peace signs and flowers. I painted flowers and peace signs all over my clothes and inked them on things like that on my hand, and the Led Zeppelin logos and the pentagram, and you know, and 666, and just, you know, I was just always really, really different, you know, just all, you know, from, you know, puberty on, you know, and so they knew there was something wrong with me, you know, and so that my mom would send me to therapists, you know, Mormon therapists, you know, whose, you know, hidden agenda was always, you know, to bring me to the Mormon church, you know, that's why I wouldn't go to a therapist now. They would have the hidden agenda of trying to fix me from being transgender, you know. The transgender thing it's just, you know, it's just what works for me, you know. I don't wish, I'm somewhat jealous of cis women. They always get to have boyfriends, and they're so much more beautiful than me, you know. But then again, I'm a 51-year-old trans woman, you know. You can only be so beautiful if that's what you are from like the world standards. But I see myself as a very beautiful person because I have a very loving heart. I have much empathy. I really do care about everybody. I don't want anyone to be hurt, you know. But I feel like I have a right to take care of myself. And when I look within, and the only person that can do your inner work is yourself. When I do my inner work, you know, Jan Sway and being transgender are the things that work, and it's wrong of a person to take that away from me. So if you were to try to fix me, you know, and make me live like and believe that I'm really just a man, and that the transgender thing's this big delusional thing and all that, like a lot of people believe, that would be really abusive of me, and I've been abused enough, you know. I have a right to use what works, you know, and transitioning female has been one of the biggest miracles of my life. And so anyone that tries to stop me will be seen as an enemy. You know, and as kind as I am, like for example, like when you see me use a women's bathroom, wow, are you out of line if you're worried about that in the slightest? You know, you've seen my logo, the spiral times, you know, and my attachment to Mother Mary. The only approved attachment for me is Mother Mary, and you know, Haile Selassie, Bob Marley, you know, Karen Armstrong, some of Bruce Lee. I have many heroes. I'm definitely, if you heard the expression, you know, that great people are standing on the shoulders of other great people, that's definitely me. If you want to really get to know me in a really loving way, of course, to love is to understand, to overstand. If you want to really overstand me, you know, you want to know who my heroes are, because that's what I'm all. I have heroes, and I love my heroes, and then my heroes, my biggest heroes, are really big influences on me. My recent one, Annie Besant, you know, is like when I love my people that I love, and they're very influential on me, and I look up to them tremendously. That's a big part of me, you know. I think that as far as like my dark side, you know, I'm seriously considering tattooing the Antifa logo on me, you know. I'm not a member of Antifa. I don't think you can be a member of Antifa. I think that's one of the myths, you know, that the Antifa is violent. You know, they might have thrown a brick or two through a window, but that type of behavior, you know, Antifa's, and like I hate war. You know, I love Jews, but their warish activities in Israel against the Palestinians, I hate it because it's using war to solve problems. You know, no matter who you are, even if you're someone I love, if you're using war, I hate that. I hate war. One of the things I hate the most is war. I hate war. It's one of the reasons I'm a Rasta. Jan Sway is a Rasta. You've heard Bob Marley's song "War." That's my like national anthem, you know. And but I can be mean. I can be mean, just like Antifa can be mean. You know, I think that's Antifa is a really accurate description of some of my darker sides. You know, like sacred, like little girls and animals and just children in general. Those are the things that I hide that are the most sacred to me, you know. Very, like I'll listen to like those little girls that are really smart. I would give them as much or more respect than a you know, someone with a degree in the subject they're talking about, you know. Like and animals too. I'm very like I watch animal documentaries like other people watch movies and stuff. Like I'm really close with animals. I was studying to be an elementary school teacher. You know, children and animals are my soft spot, but also underdogs. You know, my fantasy is to take care of underdogs. I want to fight people's bullies, and I hate bullies. You know, I'm a super empath. You know, I'm a super empath, Antifa kind of person. You know. And so like if I became, if you're like, oh no, I don't want to support Angie's The Spiral Times channel because it'll support this Jan Sway thing, even if a bunch of people became Jan Sway, because it's a fill in the blank and you can believe whatever you want, you know. It's the heart, remember, you look within. I'm not asking anybody to look at me. I'm saying look at yourself and look within, you know. Matthew 24, it's what Jesus taught, you know, stand in the holy place. And he was looking to Daniel, of course. But you know, like if I was like, I saw the documentary about Till Swan. I think Till Swan's pretty cool, and I think that a lot of it's BS, or her accusers. I think she's probably a lot cooler than she sounds, but I'd like to meet her. I think she'd be cool, but it's not really my style either. It's focus on a person. I believe in focusing within, again, the heart. But like, people are so afraid of cults and all that, but if Jan Sway became a big thing, you know, it's just the foundation of Jan Sway is witchcraft, which is an ancient thing, and it's open to interpretation. Everything. Notice that every time I build something up, it's open to interpretation. Herbert Armstrong is dead, and all he is an author at this point. Haile Selassie ascended to heaven or died or whatever, and is a non-threat, you know, like. And you know, like, witchcraft is a non-threat. It's open. Everything that I'm building up is all stuff that's open to interpretation. You know, if you're the kind of person that's like, oh, they're a member of the Masons, so therefore they're satanic, or they're into witchcraft, and that's a symbol of witchcraft, therefore it's satanic. Then yeah, you don't waste your time, because I would definitely be very satanic from your perspective. Those things, that's ignorant. Those things are not, you know, that's like ridiculous. Those things are not satanic. Hello? No, I'm not a member. I consider myself a woman. and you have to be a man in Masonry. The Rosicrucians, or if I was going to be a member of a cult, the Rosicrucians do appeal to me. I'm not scared of things like that. It's an ancient worldwide thing. They're not satanic. I've read their books, and like I just like there's so much xenophobia out there. Again, Antifa hates xenophobia and all that, you know. I believe in free thinking, and I encourage free thinking and critical thinking, you know, things like that. If I was to become this big thing like Till Swan, you know, like my dark side, you know, I like men, you know, I might end up finding some cute men that I trust that are attracted to me and have some kind of orgy or something, you know, that, but there won't be anybody hurt, and I won't be taking advantage in a power kind of a way, and women are definitely, you know, I love women, and you know, it's like I'm not attracted to women. I consider myself a heterosexual woman. Why? I've had sex with, you know, twice as, you know, I've had sex with, you know, over a couple dozen men, and just like, you know, I've had sex with way more men than women, and I'm not even really attracted to women. And I've had sex with gay men, and they just don't have the right idea, you know. Even if there are gay men that's attracted to me, they call themselves bisexual, which is smart. If you call yourself gay, I'm like, wow, you sure don't get it. There's zero chance a guy that considers himself gay that's attracted to me would stand a chance with me. They would say and do everything wrong. I would not like them at all. If they say they're bisexual, they probably still couldn't do it. Maybe if they're smart enough to understand what a trans woman is. You have to make me feel like a woman, and I have to be the woman in the relationship, or it's just not going to work. That's why I would call myself a heterosexual woman. And there are lots of men like that, but I'm not really active with sex. It's not, sex is a very low priority. Am I a pervert? Like they say, transgender people are perverts. Well, I thought that being a pervert was a compliment. If you call me a pervert, I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, I thought that was a good thing. You know, pervert just means that you don't want to only have sex with your wife in the missionary position under the covers. You know, like, ugh, that's the I certainly, I guess I'm a pervert then. You know, or hopefully I'm as perverted as possible. I love pornography. I don't think that's a bad thing, and I think that I need to be as perverted as possible because I don't really have much of a sex drive. Of course, I'm on female hormones, so I have a female sex drive, but it's way low priority because like the men that I end up with, they don't make me feel like a woman. They're not treating me the right way. They make me feel like I'm like on their bucket list and it's a secret thing, and like, and it's like, no, I just, you know, I might be interested in a boyfriend. I've just like, sex is a very small part of me. It's not that, but if maybe one day I'll find a guy, and that could be a very beautiful thing. You know, I'm trying to be I'm trying to be as honest and as open as possible, so you can see what you're dealing with, because I know how people are. Below here I have a video called My Story Part 1, and in the description box of that you can look at it, My Story Part 2. And you can, and you know, you can get to know me if that's important, but I don't think getting to know me is really the message on this channel. Being transgender and transgender people is not really the message. That's just because I know that's what you're wondering. And my life's not really the message. The message is you know, Matthew 24, you know, like, how do you look within, and how you know, how do you build up your spirituality in a way that it becomes a useful tool instead of just dropping the subject, because everybody's such a threat in that department, you know. I want you to feel like I'm very much a non-threat, you know. My program, if you look at my set of playlists called the Yanswei Rostowich, there's the green robe, the blue robe, and the white robe. That's what it's all about. Green robe is the apprentice. It's the first step. And then blue robe after you've watched that playlist and practice, if it's resonated with you, and you've done learned things from the green robe diet, you know, because I've studied nutrition's when I talk about food and nutrition, and my look at the squirrel girl diet, you know, that's the squirrel girl diet's the white robe diet, you know. like the green robe, that's like the story of Arthur's kind of like the archetype, learning from Merlin, how to be a wizard. The second one is a wizard, to learn how to be a wizard kind of. And then the white robe one is to just kind of like be beyond labels and everything. The Squirrel Girl thing is like the archetype's kind of like the Marvel Comics Squirrel Girl, who's the toughest character because she's like a squirrel. And the squirrel, how a squirrel eats and how a squirrel lives is the philosophy, and also just the character Squirrel Girl. She makes me feel good and happy, and that might not work for you. The implication is you would need to find your own archetype or something like that, or maybe just no archetype or whatever. It's your inner journey. But yeah, when I talk about diet and my diets come with workouts, that's one of the subjects I know best. Like any Rasta. I've smoked lots of cannabis, though I don't smoke now, and have kind of outgrown that with transitioning, and I know I just have lots of recipes. I know a lot about that subject, but I'm mostly trying to save you time with theology, which is mostly an out of date thing. Spiritual religion's an out of date thing, or especially organized religion. It's about lifestyle, and it becomes about like just have some basic tools of spirituality that you use, and it's mostly about what you eat and how it affects the world, like global warming and things like that, so that's kind of what you're dealing with when you're dealing with Yan Sui.